Welcome to my Let's Play guide for SkyFactory 3. This is a Minecraft mod pack, and it's different from the original because you start on top of a tree in the middle of space. You have no idea how you got here or what evil person put you here. You're given some random things and you're expected to survive. We're going to survive, we're going to progress, and we're going to tick off everything that the achievement book has to offer. So this book is a purple book, and if you right click you can open it. It's got the creator, the team that put it together, and some challenges that are meant to kind of guide you through the packs. The idea of this series is that I will be ticking off everything in the achievement book and doing some of my own things by following through the steps shown on the top left side of the screen. If you want to follow along even without the video, the Google document that contains the steps and other information that I've compiled together is available in the description. I've also made my own script that has a few hotkeys in it for mass right clicking or left clicking of the mouse, same with holding the buttons, and I've added a build mode but I haven't finished it yet. So without any more talking, let's get into it. You start on the tree. I like to make sure my inventory is organized from the beginning. I have a little bit of an OCD, and I'm going to be eating these things just to get them out. The book and everything is kind of useless to begin with. The tin nugget is basically an iron nugget, and the builder's wand is a stick called a builder's wand, so don't be fooled. The first thing you want to do is break the leaf and break the wood. Now in this pack there's ore excavator, which allows you to mine multiple blocks at the same time as long as they are all connected and all of the same type. So if I hold the grave key, which is just above the tab, and I mine, I guess, the tree, you see it cut all of the tree down at once and I got all of the wood. So what I like to do is I like to start here and make a crafting table straight away. And I turn it into a crafting station because it's got more functionality, and we put it down. So look at that, we've already ticked off our first goal. We're on the way. The next thing is you want to make a crook. So a crook is 4 sticks. I like to make 2 at the beginning and some floor, because you have nothing to stand on except for this one piece of dirt, and you also can't collect any drops if they go off the edge. So I'm going to make the floor along here. I like to build it at least 1 wide to begin with, and then try to go out to at least 5 by 5 at the beginning. The strategy I'm going to be using is to make some big trees as early as possible, and big trees have big leaves. And if there's nothing for the leaves to fall on, well, it's a waste of time having a big tree because you won't collect anything. So firstly, make sure you are safe. Hold that shift button. The amount of times I've fallen off is unreal, and that will lead me into the safety chest, which will be step 3. So you see here I've extended the floor as much as I can. We have the sticks, we can make our crook straight away. And I always use it without the excavation to begin with because it is a bit finicky. Sometimes if you use it, the resources that you were meant to get drop on you, shoot off in multiple directions, or don't drop where you expect them to. So it's always a good idea to do that until you at least have a sapling, so you know you can progress now. And at this point, choose the one closest to the center of your platform and use the ore excavator. Generally it seems to drop them around where you're standing. You see I already got a silkworm and an apple. Food is quite important early, the silkworm will come into play a bit later on. So we can tick off our next point. We've got our sapling, we've made our crook. The idea now is that you have to grow these trees over and over and extend your flooring, extend your base out. The main resources you can get now are wood, some food and some silkworms. So what we will do is we will twerk, because in this pack if you twerk the tree will grow. And again we'll harvest all of the leaves, and then we'll harvest the wood. Make sure you don't use anything that has durability to harvest the wood. So for example I didn't use the crook because it would lose durability even though it's just not needed for this particular type. Again I put the tree down. It's kind of a rinse and repeat at the beginning. We extend the floor at least to a 5 by 5 because this is when we're going to start working on the big trees. After this one, so with my 3rd tree, I'm also going to make a safety chest. Hopefully I don't have to demonstrate why that's needed, but Very likely at some point during this episode I will fall off, or during a future one. This mine pack's a lot of fun. Lots of things to discover, lots of things to try. I'm not a big Minecraft player, actually. I've only played Feed the Beast a long time ago when I played Minecraft Survival and some other bits, and I've been away for years. But I want to make a guide to help some people through. It's something I enjoy doing, and I hope you enjoy following along. So again, we can twerk. You can also run, if you feel confident enough to run on this kind of a tiny platform, because run will generate ticks at a faster pace. This is what I've noticed. And ticks are what are needed to grow your tree. So, oh, don't quit. We want to rinse and repeat. Harvest. We see, make sure you have enough sticks for a crook. Make another one, knock down the tree, and this time we're going to build our safety chest. Now it's called a safety chest because it's a safety chest. It is your way of surviving even if you fall off at the very beginning. Normally if you fall off with all of this stuff, you have no way to come back. You've got no tree to grow, no sapling to use. So what I like to do at the very beginning is put a sapling, normally a crook as well, so I guess I'll make a crook quickly. Oh, we'll make a lot of... yeah, okay. So we'll make a compressed crook. The best one is 4 normal crooks upgraded. It's better to make these early on because they have more durability than the 4, and it's just easier to handle this in the one at a time instead of having to click multiple crooks. You can't use it if it's got any damage on it. So what I do is, if I fall off now, no matter what happens, I will be able to continue with my playthrough. If I fell off and lost all of my saplings and had none there, I wouldn't be able to progress. If I had one there and I knocked all the leaves and I didn't get another sapling, which is possible, again I wouldn't be able to progress. So now we have our floor extended a little bit and we have our safety chest. We also have our compressed crook, but we want to extend our floor more before we make the big trees, so we can't tick off the next part yet. Well, we got lucky here anyway, we got a medium one. Make sure you have the crook. Don't lose the resources if you can. That's what happens sometimes with this ore excavator, unfortunately. That's why we want to extend as much as possible, as early as possible. This uses up your hunger very quickly because each block counts as using your effort, which increases your hunger. So make sure you're eating where you need to eat. You should get enough apples unless they all fly off the edge, which shouldn't happen. Really shouldn't happen, but sometimes you just never know. You can also cook the silkworms, but obviously we can't do that yet because we don't have a furnace. We're just going to get this out. Where is it now? It's on 3, so we'll get it out to 4 here. And I'm going to make it 5 here, and then make each side 5 by 5. I'm really worried, so I always hold shift and build very slowly on this floor. Something you'll notice as well is that I will do stuff like that, and also generally I will build the outline of the floor or the area I'm working on first because I feel more comfortable if there's more flooring around me, and I also build a bit quicker if I know where I'm starting and stopping. So we've got that side to 5 now. This is on 4. Let's get this to 5. Preferably not like that. Let's get this to 5 as well. Do not use your ore excavator. Do not hold that button when you mine your floor. Everything will disappear. You'll become Houdini. No, Houdini gets out of things. You'll become a magician and you'll just vanish into the void. And when you respawn, you'll have nothing to respawn on, so you'll just vanish into the void again. Which means your playthrough is over. We get around that a little bit later on by changing the flooring that we use, because then if you mine at least part of it, you'll still have some left. So, we've extended the floor again. I have, I think, enough to start the big trees now. The way that I've noticed can generate at least medium trees and regularly big trees is to put something 2 blocks high next to that tree. Now, it will take a bit longer to grow sometimes because it can't make the small... Generally can't make the small tree. Okay, so yeah, in the middle of my words, this is exactly how I expected this to go. Well, we'll do this, and what I'll do is I'll show you what I was actually meant to show you. After I extend the floor a bit more, I guess it knew I wasn't ready for the big trees yet. So it was kind to me, and it said, look, you're not 5 by 5. You're going to lose stuff. You're going to pull your hair out. We're not going to grow you a big tree yet. So this is 3. So this is only 3 as well. So this isn't even 4 by 4 yet. 4 by 4 isn't even 4 long away from the center yet. So that's now 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can count. 4. We'll get it to 5 without falling off the edge. And I believe that's going to be 5 all around. 1, 2, but obviously my belief is wrong, so we will finish this as well, 5 by 5. Okay, I'm going to eat the worm bacon, fill my hunger up a bit, and I am going to hopefully show you what I wanted to show you now. So this should give us at least a medium-sized tree or a large tree. I haven't actually seen it make a small tree in so long, except for when I've shown you. So there you go. So this could be considered a medium-sized tree. You see we get a lot more leaves and a lot more wood to begin with. And I'm not going to be able to get that, so I need to get this wood. From the wood, now we might as well use up that last crook, I guess, actually, before we progress, because we have some leaves up there, and this is going to run out on all of these leaves, probably. Catch. Sometimes you have to dodge, dip, duck, and dive. What is it? That quote. So again, put the tree. You should get a medium or a large tree. I don't actually like twerking. When I've got 5 by 5, I do feel confident enough to run around generally. I guess we have to mix it up. Some people... Oh, Jesus. Of course, every other time, except for when I'm recording, 9, 8, 7 out of 10 times I will get a large tree. The one time I'm recording this, I get mostly small trees. We can't tick that box off until I show you that this gives you mostly large trees. So just because it's starting to get a bit frustrating. There we go, a large tree to begin with. Spam the inventory button just out of happiness right there. With large trees you also definitely want compressed crooks, so make sure you're making those. Quick way, press R on the crook, right click it, and click on the plus and hold shift and it will move the items. When you've made one already, click R on it and do the same thing. So R click until you don't have enough. I like to put my food on 8, but I still have enough, so let's eat the donut now. Oh, I feel good just having the food that I want. Right, and we're going to crook the leaves. Remember, always try and be close to where you want them to drop, because generally they seem to drop where you start, or at least as close as they can to it. Look how many saplings we already have. It's so much quicker to progress when you get a big tree to begin. Same with the wood. We're already on 5 by 5. And we have so many saplings and we have a lot of food, so we shouldn't ever run out. If this gets into a big, there we go. So this normally will do what I'm showing you now. Abnormally, it will do what happened earlier. So I think I can consider that as the big tree is made. The big trees are growing. That hunger goes down very quickly with big trees. You see how much I have left already. But I got just enough apples to supplement that. So I can make sure I eat my way up. This speeds up the early game a lot for me. Instead of making lots of small trees, and it's just simpler to plant one and get triple the amount you normally would get. I'm just going to grow one more. I feel like that will be enough to then do the next point, which are the tinker tools, and to explain the other points as well. So if it gets a bit too tall, you can always jump, and if you can reach that one point by jumping, it will continue to spread through the rest. Obviously I can't jump that high, so I know that those leaves, there is just no way I'm getting them. With the wood, it should scale all the way up the tree and give me that wood, so that was fine. The next point will be Tinker's tool. So I get into Tinker's quite early, because I like to level up my tool from the beginning and not just use the pre-made ones, and it means I get some more modifiers later on. Also, when you're playing around with wood, when you put something wrongly, it's quicker to just have a wooden axe to knock it down, or a mattock, than to use your hand. The only thing is that you have to repair them quite often at the beginning, but we'll get to that. So to make the tinkers, if you've ever played tinkers, you know you need the patterns, which are sticks and wood, I believe. Yes, I'm going to make 30. There we go. I'm going to make 30. You also need a crafting station. Yeah, crafting station, not table. Yeah, on the right way. You need a block of wood, and I'm special, so I'm going to need to grow one more tree because I used all my raw wood. So let's just get that done. Again, a large tree. Thank you. Finally, you are showing what I'm to show. And we can get into this and we can enjoy it. Okay, use up my last crook here. This is probably all going to go off the edge. No, sometimes it's nice to you. Sometimes you curse it. It's the joys of the game. But you see, we're overflowing already. We're not going to run out of saplings ever. We're not going to run out of food ever. We already have 33 apples, even with vein mining. It's just such a quick start to do it like this. So, as I was saying, there's one more tinkers to make, and that is with the raw wood, but the right way around. I also like to make absolutely everything, so one of those is a part chest, and one of them is something else. A pattern chest, yeah. So we have the pattern chest, and I believe the part chest is 2 chests. We're going to use these later on anyway. Part. Yeah, the part. No, 1 chest, 1 pattern, 2 sticks, 1 plank. So 1. And like an idiot, I could have just clicked the plus. There we go. So we have all of the tinkers. What I'm going to be doing, because I know I have an idea how I want to lay this out at the very beginning, because I like to pre-plan at least some of what I'm doing. So we're going to have our tree farm here. We're going to have early farms here with our first cows, and our sieves are going to be in this chunk. So F9 turns on this, which kind of shows you the chunks. I like to build within the chunks because it's even 16 by 16. I have a bit of an OCD with symmetry, but if you want to make it odd and have a single one, you just make an outline and it's 15 by 15, and all of a sudden you can build odd shaped whatever you need to build. So I know I need to go 7 and 3 out to start where I'd like to build all of my tools, and I also know I need a lot more floor to do that. Okay, so we will go here, we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And like I said, I like to build the outline first. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the rest of this floor space, but I do want the outline there ready to go. So I'm just going to go around the edge of this chunk. And I've realised I shouldn't have built that floor, but I'll have to knock it down. We'll see. So we go all the way around the edge, because this is going to be my central base. You can say this is where I'm going to put my bed, my tinker's tools, and my safety chest, along with just the chest that I connect into the crafting station. It also will connect to where I'm doing all the sieving, because especially early on you have to sieve. Which kind of leads me on to something. I don't sieve as early as possible to get to cobble as early as possible. I like to use up my wood to make a tree farm, to get the sieves ready to progress, to then get some leather. We're going to get an early backpack because I like the backpack. We don't have anything like replaces our items in our inventory, so you'll notice when we use wooden shears and hammers, which will be very soon, we have to manually make 10, and then every time one is used up we have to make another, we have to move the other one manually to the bar and do it over and over again. It doesn't auto replace, which I know many people are used to having happen in Minecraft. I'm not, but I can imagine that would be very, very useful, and I've seen a lot of Let's Plays where people mention that, and it's awkward. So we get a backpack early to counteract that as much as possible. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't replace. That's not 5. 5. I think that's 6. Can I count? I hope so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I can't count. Oh god. Of course not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I need to leave the next one anyway. And all of the... No, this is fine there. We're going to start here. So on here I put my crafting station, which I need to get one more of, because I'm going to leave the other one over there, because it's just easier to have one by the trees for now. So we will put full of stuff. We'll put the crafting station here. right next to the crafting station I put the tool station. If you connect these all in a certain way, they all link together, as you'll see. So we'll put the tool station here, and because I do not want to fall off, I'm going to build this floor just a little bit. I like to build the outline like this because it's a lot easier for me to build inwards, and when you get the builder's ones it becomes even easier. If you put the outline on, you can just run across doing that instead of holding shift and worrying the whole way round. So this is the tool station. What naturally leads into that is the part builder, the stencil table, because you have to make the stencils, so we know it's going to end there. Behind the stencil table I put the chest, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around behind it because I know where I'm starting now. There we go. Make sure... okay, so what I like to do is put a chest there. We're not there yet. Pattern chest, so this is for the stencils. This will hold all of your patterns. Oh, blank one and the others. The part chest, hold any extra parts from your part builder. Here I will put later on an engineer's workbench, so that will be my 4 furnaces that I use early on together. And right behind I like to make a chest crate. A small storage crate which comes from just wood casing, so it's complete wood, so raw wood, 4 sticks and 4 planks. Very cheap, and again I can just do this. Make that, press R on that. Don't make, no. Yeah, storage crate. Okay. So I got the book from Actually Editions because the storage crate is from Actually Editions. So now if I use this crafting table, you can see they are all connected to each other, along with the fact that my crafting station has direct access to my storage crate here, and this becomes my better safety chest. So I know we just made one, but I've fallen off before that point before. I prefer to be very safe early on. The next thing we will make is our achievement book stand, so that we can tick off the achievements in this as we go through. What I normally do is place it there, because I'm going to have a bed right next to that. That's my bedtime reading, you see. It's good to read. Okay, so in this crate we'll put all of the crap that we're not going to use. Get rid of that. The builder's wand I need to replace the stuff with. I haven't done that for a while. I guess I'm going to put a sapling in there. We'll put... do I really need to put anything? No, at the moment we just need to come and move this. Alright. We don't need the chest, so I like to have extra materials in here that I might use, because when I use the crafting station I can just quickly drag them across, especially instead of running back and forth between anywhere that I may need to be. And I guess we'll put saplings, because we can use saplings early on as well. And in our safety chest, so we have saplings. Now we have food as well. I guess I should have a few more because of that. And we have a crook. So we're alright. If we fall off, we have floor to land on, and we have a safety chest, which means we will survive. I don't really need the silkworms for this moment either, because I do the silkworms a little bit later on. Yeah. So we can tick off. No, we can't, because I'm an idiot. Now we need to make the tinker's tools. Early on, a pickaxe and a mattock are useful. I've only put mattock in the... oh, why have I got E there? I only put mattock in the goals because mattock is the most useful one. I don't need a pickaxe at all until I get a cobble generate. Yeah, till I get cobblestone. So I'm just going to make the mattock for now. So we'll go into the stencil table. We will make the axe head, the shovel head, and the tool rod. We'll go to the part builder. We'll stick some wood in it. And it's all going to be out of wood for the moment. As soon as possible we will upgrade. The good thing about tinkers in this is that you don't need to... where can I put my stencil? Stencil pattern chest. Yeah, you don't need to make a whole new tool. You can just swap out another part. So if I made now an axe head out of stone, I could just put this all together here and it would upgrade the axe head and replace it with the old one. So we have our wooden mattock. This I will be using for cutting now the wood and progressing that way. Yeah. Right, so it's kind of set up. What I'll do is I'll fill that in with builder's wands, because even stone wands let you do 5 at a time and it's just quicker. We don't really want to use too much of our early cobblestone for wands, but I actually do because I hate building blocks one by one. What am I doing? Yes, so I need more crooks. This early part is really rinse and repeat. You do the same thing over and over just to build up your initial resources, because all you've got is wood. You keep growing that wood. You take it down, you grow some more, and you then will get on to sieving the dirt initially to get stone. But because wood is very useful and there are many things you can do with it early on, and the first cobblestone and a lot of the next cobblestone I want to put straight into sieving, I prefer to use the wood early on to build a lot of the initial base. And I don't build any kind of cobble gen until I've built my tree farm. Here we're still getting small trees. I haven't got so many small trees in a while from doing something like this. It's quite crazy. We didn't tick off our mattock either, and that will remind me to show you the other way of getting dirt, or the ways of getting dirt. So the next progression from wood is dirt, because you need to sieve dirt and get stones and pebbles and God knows what else is inside of that. To do that, you need to make dirt. The way that they do it here is quite nature friendly. You would make a barrel and you would put natural ingredients in that barrel and they compost and become dirt. What I do is I make myself an early tree farm with a lot of barrels so that I also get a lot of dirt early on. So what I like to do is from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where my first bit of dirt is going to be, so that means this is where my first set of barrels are going to be. So I'm just going to replace the floor here. You see, this is where the mattock comes in handy because it's a bit quicker than using your hand. When you start vein mining with it and it runs out every 5 blocks, it's a pain in the ass, but I feel like the speed for the general usage outweighs that. So here I know that it's not connected at all, so I'm happy to just vein mine that. Wood is not a luxury resource, I can get loads of it, so I might as well just speed up my building time and replace the floor like that. You see how many saplings I have as well. So I will do that all the way to the end. So again, what I will do, is build the outline so that I make sure I get this right, because I always get this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, so yeah, and I've done it again. These two should actually be dirt. So we are not going to put any more there for the moment, but I can show you what I want to show you with it. I guess this is enough for now, just because I need to show you the beginning. So the first way of getting dirt, and the easiest way of getting dirt, is to fill a barrel with natural ingredients. So saplings count as natural ingredients. You can shove some worms in there as well. I've got more worms and I'll get more worms, so that's okay. You can also put apples, although it's not really recommended unless you've definitely got a lot of apples. They all give 10 each like worms, whereas they'll take 10 apples per dirt block, 10 worms per dirt block, or 8 saplings per dirt block. The other way is to do leaves. So if we grow this tree, come on tree, you know you like my booty shaking. Grow for me. Grow high, grow strong. Ah, come on. Maybe it wants me to be a long distance runner instead. Some trees have personalities that are different from others. And some are just stubborn as hell. Here we go. Yeah, alright, so I'm not going to do that because that will not show you what I want to show. So in this pack you have wooden shears. They can be used to get leaves. All you need are planks, a sapling and 2 sticks. So don't do it unless you have a lot of saplings, which obviously we do. And planks, I left some in here, so it's always good to have some resources stashed just in case. And we'll make some shears. Shears are good but awkward. And the reason I say this is because you have to make one at a time, unless you hold shift and do that, but you have to use them one at a time, and they run out very quickly, and they don't replace, so you'll see what I mean. I'll use the shear. Didn't do a lot of the tree. It does get you a lot of leaves though, so it does get you a lot of resources you can use to make dirt. So if you're happy with the time, it's worth doing it. But you see they run out very quickly, and it doesn't replace in your hand, so each time I have to move the leaves out, move the next one in, and do the shearing. This will change later when we get the backpack and the automatic replacement upgrade, but for the moment this is all you would do with it. And the other way is to use a hammer. So did I finally use that builder's one? I think I did. That's good. And of course I've made too many to show what I want to show. So the other way is to use a hammer on the wood. In this way you won't get any wood, so you don't want to do the shears if you need saplings, because you won't get saplings, and you don't want to use the hammer if you need wood, because you won't get wood that's usable. You will instead get wood chippings. Now I can put wood chippings or leaves also in the barrels to make dirt. And this way it means whatever you choose to do, saplings, apples, worms, leaves, you can make dirt by putting any of this in here. I don't like constantly using the shears, although the amount that you do get early on from wooden shears, so I think this is 8 barrels, because I think it's 8 leaves. And with my macro that will right click quickly, with barrels they respond to right clicks, it will fill them very quickly. Okay, so you can see I got a lot of dirt actually from one tree. It's just a bit of a pain in the arse. Okay, so then we get dirt here, and I'll show you what I wanted to do. So I like to build a square of trees and you mine them all at once. It means you get a lot of wood, a lot of leaves very early on. So I would actually have this bit of dirt here, this bit of dirt here, and we'll have an entrance to it. I want to make a nice looking tree farm. I was actually going to make a tree house, but it does take some time, so I'm not sure if I will do that in the episode. Tree house, tree farm. Got to have some fun with it as well. And you can also, because you're putting more dirt down, so it's very good to do this straight away. If you put more dirt, you can grow more trees, so I don't just have to farm the individual tree that I've got there now. I can use this dirt. Make sure you fill the holes. Do not have holes in the middle of your base. You will fall down, and you will be slightly sad inside when it happens, because you were looking at it the whole time it was there. So what I mean, for example, is we would grow all of these trees, and now we can actually, as long as you're 5 blocks in range, we can grow them all together, which gives us a lot more leaves, a lot more wood, and it just expands like that. So I will tick off. We've done the wooden shears, I've explained it as well. Barrels and cover... yes. Let me crook this down quickly. You see you get so many leaves that you actually run out of a compressed crook. Oh sorry, so many leaves create... I'm not going to do that because I won't get them. And then we're going to use the hammer on the wood. If that wood's connected, it will do all of that, and we'll get loads of wood chippings. If you don't need the wood, which I don't at this moment, you just keep doing that. Shear the leaves if you want, or crook them and get saplings. The note that I mentioned is, if you do not cover barrels, they will fill up with water when it rains, and when they fill up with water you can't do anything about that unless you break the barrel and open it again. You can't use it to make dirt because there's water inside. So what you should do is, as soon as you make barrels, cover them over. It's annoying as hell if you have 64 barrels and they're all filled with just 1 drop of water, because then you have to break every single one of them to use them for your dirt production. So as you build a line of barrels, build a line of ceiling and just progress like that. Now I don't need all, or just stack them on top of each other like that. I'm going to have it like this because I've got a design in mind, but this is also something you can do. Just going to knock them down now. Okay, so they're all safe, they're all protected now. This will tick off the next one, And this means, so I can explain water. So for water, early on the only way to get it is from rain or from wooden crucibles. So later you'll learn about crucibles because it's the first way that we get lava, which gives us a cobble gem. At the beginning of the game, although you don't really have any uses for it until a bit later on, except for building if you want to go down and use the water ladder technique to build. Or to get your death drop, because if you die you can go back down and get it. You would use a crucible in exactly the same way as a barrel. So because I've run out of my crook, I'm just going to use up the shears. Grab these. Can I reach that? I think, yeah, I can reach that if I jump. No, I don't even need to jump. But I'll jump to grab it anyway. Jump out of joy. And I want the wood this time, and I'm gonna die of starvation soon if I don't do something about that. Okay. Tinker's the only thing a bit annoying early on is this, that you have to constantly repair it. If it's not your cup of tea, if it's not what you enjoy, tool first, then wood. Then just use your hand, well not your hand, use something in your hand because it won't work if you use an empty hand, or make the wooden axes, whatever you feel good with doing. I'm going to knock this tree down. Now I can make my crucible. So it's exactly the same as a barrel except for with the raw wood. I would recommend you don't really need more than 2 if you're going to do this, because 2 will make an infinite water source in Minecraft if you place them correctly. And I'm going to put them over here. So normally for crucibles you need to light them, and that warms them up, and that will let you cook stone. But for the wooden crucibles, and to get water, you don't. You just compress water, compress natural ingredients into water over time. So you can see they're breaking down into water, so that will get me enough. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we've got our crucibles now. The last thing is to build the tree farm, and then to infest the trees for silks. For silks? For silk. Right, I need more flooring. And then I'm going to build the outline as well, because like I said, I always prefer to build the outline first as much as possible. And it also helps us build the outline, build everything else if you have the outline there. So what we'll do is we'll go all the way around the edge, because I build the trees more nearer the center of the chunk, and I leave 3 space around the edge, because generally the leaves will grow up to 3. Sometimes they can be longer, but they'll grow out by 3. So this way I'll be able to gather most of the resources. You don't need to do as many trees as I'm going to do. You don't need to do it as big as I'm going to do it. You can just survive on the single tree and constantly doing it. But I prefer to have a almost production facility set up as early as possible for wood, so that I just come over once or twice and I have enough wood to last me the rest of the time. It just takes a little bit of initial setup. So what we'll do, this will be all filled here and that will be filled there. Alright, let's get the macro on and let's get some dirt made so that we can get some builder's wands. No, we can't yet because we don't have silk. Yeah. So we'll do silk next. Let's just make the dirt. Good thing is to always fill up the barrels while you're doing something else, because it takes time to convert it, to compost it. So with this one, I'm going to show you the silk. I'm not going to do it near the others for the moment, because what will happen is if you grow all the trees together and you leave some infestive leaves, they will infest the rest of them, and I only want to make a single sieve for now so that I can get some early ones to finish this quickly, so that you guys don't get bored watching me just build a tree farm. Alright, so we have that, and I'm an idiot because I'm talking. I completely forgot what I was going to do. So let's make another tree. Come on. Okay, so the way you get silk, that was loud, sorry, is you infest the leaves, and again you need to wait for it to happen. So stick as many worms as you can fit on the tree. Honestly, you get so many from just crooking all of the trees. As long as you do this and you have a crook, you'll get more, so you can't be scared to run out, and this will just speed up the process of waiting for it all to infest. While that's happening, what I'll do is I'll make some more dirt, because each thing takes time, so it's good to do one while the other's doing something else. Wise use of your time will let you progress through this, especially the early game, a bit faster. Later on, when things automate themselves, or you automate things to automate themselves, it's not so important, but early on, if you spend your time doing different things, generally it will take a bit longer to get to where you want. So I like to go, like I said, all the way around with the dirt, except for here where I would want to do something else, but I don't really... Okay, we're going to fill this floor just while we wait for that tree to infest, and then I'll do the rest with the builder's ones. So the idea, I believe, is... so 3 by 3 means 6 on the side, so that means I've got 10, so that means every side should be the 5th block, and the entrance will be the 5th. So if I do that, and I come along here, we count 3, there's 3, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so right there actually is going to be the entrance into this area, and next to that should also be the entrance. So let's see if I haven't messed this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, I'm an idiot already. There's going to be floor here because it's going to be a 3 space. Don't fall off, don't fall off. There we go. Ooh, don't fall off. Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that will be 5. So we're going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. We want it on the same level because my OCD will kill me if it's not. There we go. And you see we have a lovely white Christmas tree. Feels like season time. What you need to do, use your crook on the leaves, and you will now, instead of anything else, get silk. So don't infest your trees if you need anything else. It will only infest the leaves and the first one there, so you don't have to worry. And if, for example, that one was left and that was infested, and you grew a tree and it connected to that, that would infest the rest of your tree. So make sure you clear up all the leaves after you've done the silk if you don't want any more. Too many times I've left one leaf, I've come back and this whole tree farm is white, and you can't use that much silk. So we will get on to the sieving to make the builder's wand, but that will be in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this. We've started out on a tree and we've ended up having a tree farm, or at least the beginnings of one. I've shown you dirt, I've explained the basics of water, my kind of idea and the setup that we're going to be doing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, would like any information, or can give me any tips, I've just started learning all this. I've spent some time playing around, but I don't know it all. Please leave me a comment and let me know. If not, I'll see you in episode 2. Take care. Bye bye.